It takes courage, but the rewards are immense. It allows us to experience true companionship and support. It allows us to build deeper, more meaningful relationships. These relationships become the bedrock of our emotional well-being. It's the foundation for love, trust, and belonging. When we connect courageously, we create a world where everyone feels valued and understood. Intimacy and vulnerability are often used interchangeably, but they are distinct concepts. While they are closely related, each plays a unique role in our relationships. Intimacy is the feeling of closeness and connection we experience in relationships. It's the bond that forms when we feel truly understood and accepted by another person. It's about feeling safe, seen, and understood. This sense of security allows us to share our deepest thoughts and emotions without fear of judgment. Vulnerability, on the other hand, is the willingness to be open and exposed, even when it feels risky. It's about taking emotional risks and being honest about our feelings. It's about sharing our true selves with others, knowing that we might get hurt. This openness can lead to deeper understanding and stronger bonds. Think of it like this: intimacy is the goal and vulnerability is the path. Without vulnerability, intimacy cannot be achieved. We can't have true intimacy without first being vulnerable with each other. It's through vulnerability that we build trust and deepen our connections. When we open ourselves up, we create space for deeper connection. This openness invites others to do the same, fostering mutual understanding and empathy. It's important to remember that vulnerability is not weakness. It's a sign of strength and courage. In fact, it takes great strength and courage to be vulnerable. It means facing our fears and showing up as our true selves. It's about showing up authentically, even when we're afraid. By embracing vulnerability, we pave the way for genuine intimacy and meaningful connections. We've all had moments where we've felt vulnerable. Maybe it was sharing a secret with a friend, asking for help when we needed it, or admitting that we made a mistake. I remember a time when I was struggling with a difficult decision. I felt overwhelmed and alone. I finally worked up the courage to confide in a close friend. To my surprise, she shared that she had gone through something similar. Her honesty and vulnerability created a space for me to open up and share my own struggles. In that moment, I realized the power of vulnerability to create connection. By sharing our stories, we realize that we're not alone in our experiences. We find comfort in knowing that others have faced similar challenges and come out stronger. Vulnerability is the foundation of trust and connection. It is the cornerstone upon which meaningful relationships are built. Without vulnerability, we cannot truly connect with others on a deep level. When we allow ourselves to be seen, we give others permission to do the same. This act of revealing our true selves can be daunting, but it is essential for genuine connection. This creates a virtuous cycle of openness and authenticity. As we open up, others feel safe to do the same, leading to deeper and more meaningful interactions. Think about the people in your life who you feel closest to. These are likely the individuals with whom you have shared your vulnerabilities and who have shared theirs with you. Chances are, they are people who you feel comfortable being vulnerable with. This mutual vulnerability strengthens the bond between you. They are the ones who have seen your flaws and loved you anyway. They accept you for who you are, imperfections and all. When we are vulnerable, we create opportunities for empathy and understanding. By sharing our struggles and fears, we invite others to do the same, fostering a deeper connection. We show others that it's okay to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to ask for help. This creates a supportive environment where everyone feels valued and understood. This fosters a sense of belonging and connection. When we feel accepted and supported, we are more likely to thrive and grow. Vulnerability also allows us to experience deeper levels of joy and love. By being open and honest, we can fully embrace the positive emotions that come our way. When we're open to giving and receiving love, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. This openness enriches our lives and deepens our connections with others. Sometimes we build walls around our hearts to protect ourselves from getting hurt. We might avoid intimacy because we're afraid of rejection, abandonment, or betrayal. While these walls might make us feel safe in the short term, they ultimately prevent us from experiencing true connection. Overcoming emotional distance requires us to identify and challenge the beliefs that are holding us back. What are we afraid of? What stories are we telling ourselves about love, connection, and vulnerability? It's important to remember that vulnerability is a practice, not a destination. It's about taking small steps every day to open ourselves up to others. It's about being willing to be uncomfortable, to feel our feelings, and to risk getting hurt. Section 6. Small steps, big rewards, starting with ourselves. The journey to vulnerability begins with ourselves. We need to be comfortable with our own imperfections before we can be vulnerable with others. This means practicing self-compassion, forgiving ourselves for our mistakes, and embracing our authentic selves. Start by noticing the ways in which you might be holding yourself back from vulnerability. Are you afraid to speak your truth? Do you struggle to ask for what you need? Are you quick to judge yourself and others? Once you've identified your barriers, start challenging them. Practice being kind to yourself, allowing yourself to make mistakes, and celebrating your strengths. Section 7. The power of authenticity. Embracing imperfection. Authenticity is about showing up as our true selves, without pretense or masks. It's about embracing our imperfections and celebrating our uniqueness. When we're authentic, we give others permission to do the same. One of the biggest barriers to authenticity is the fear of judgment. We worry about what others will think of us if we show our true selves. But the truth is, people are drawn to authenticity. When we're genuine, we create a space for real connection. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and belonging. In fact, it's our imperfections that make us human and relatable. Embrace your quirks, your flaws, and your unique story. Section 8. Cultivating intimacy, nurturing our relationships. Building intimacy takes time and effort. It requires us to be present, to listen deeply, and to communicate effectively. It's about creating a space where both people feel safe to be vulnerable. Start by making small gestures of connection. Share something personal with a friend. Tell your partner how much you appreciate them. Ask a loved one how they're really doing. Be patient and understanding. It takes time for people to open up and feel comfortable being vulnerable. Don't force it. Just keep showing up authentically and let the connection unfold organically. Section 9. A hopeful journey towards deeper connections. The journey to intimacy and vulnerability is ongoing. There will be times when it feels scary, uncomfortable, and even painful, but it's a journey worth taking. When we embrace vulnerability, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We create deeper connections, experience greater joy and love, and live more fulfilling lives. So, be courageous, be open, be vulnerable. You might be surprised by what you find.